Hello and welcome back to module number 13, and we'll discuss in this module, I'll discuss about the future of open source R, but I will start with the subject that I did not cover yet, which is Shiny. And Shiny is basically um, a web application that has the backup of a server, R server, and the ability to run R in the server as a background. The RStudio got a GitHub address that I will share with you, and it provides the ability quite easily way to um, create Shiny. However, I want to warn you a little bit. Because it's based on a server and it is outside, USF does not support this type of server. I will not be able to display that. So you will need to install several packages in order to run the server, and ability to you will need to pay for it to run. So again, I just want, if you will land in the end in a job that will ask you to use the Shiny as a platform for the web, usually what they will do is they will need to provide you with a Shiny, and this is how it will go. It goes very well and it provides very detailed on all the skills that you are allowed to do on the web as a platform to run the RStudio. So everything is basically breakdown. He provide a very specific example of Shiny and HTML, and one of the things that it provides the ability how he breaks the HTML into div in order for it to break the HTML code. So basically, you're going to write the code in R, and it will go into the server side that will execute and present the header as HTML and everything else that it consists of in order for you to display that, in order for you to apply. So this is a really very good indication. I will not go over that because this is not USF does not pay for the server. Maybe your next employer will be able to pay and be able to support your idea of Shiny and HTML, and I hope that you will be able to see it. So my presentation today, I'm going to talk about future. So what is the future of R programming? And as I said, one of the things that become a commonplace or a common terminology in the R community is that we are calling the R right now ecosystem, which facilitate many different aspects of the data analysis, from HTML to Shiny to ability to grab data from any other place, and ability to share this information using the browser, but also applying the RStudio as the foundation. The ecosystem, we are talking about different industry that started to apply the R. It is from forecasting to drug development, social networking, and much more. Even the business community started to apply. I know that the Citibank and Chase Bank started to apply the R in order for them to support the users and apply to it. So the ecosystem is the part of the terminology, and we are starting to see it, that the media, the data science, and everyone else started to talk about the R as an ecosystem that will support that. But let's go from the scratch. And the idea is that how can we prepare you for your next job? And if looking at the research that's conducted by Northbridge, that says that 78% of the companies run nowadays on open source. So this is a quite high number that asking for the employees to understand open source. So the infrastructure, according to the research company, is that most of the companies using the cloud, using big data, operating system, and connect product that allow them to do the open source platform as the foundation. And so I'm going to look at four companies. And I want you to pay attention, because those companies are the face of the new generation. First of all, Microsoft. And Microsoft has developed a project that is aimed at R, that aims to provide support to our users. Then I will look at Amazon, and Amazon is becoming a big foundation to any industry and how they do that. Then we will look at Facebook, and in the end, I will look at again the extension of RStudio to support that. So all of those companies, even Google, has its own code style that allowed us to do that. So let's start with Microsoft. Microsoft developed a server that support R. Basically, what they did was created a special server that you can run or store your data in order for you to run the R on it. And so the idea here is that the Microsoft server is as good as any other server or open source server. But what he does, he allowed us to use SQL instead of MySQL. SQL as the data set that is the foundation or the database infrastructure, and or allowed us to run queries onto SQL that is the foundation of Microsoft. So basically, Microsoft has invested quite a lot of money and time to the R to distribute and ability to immigrate all the components into R, and this is a good indication of the importance of R in Microsoft environment. The next is the Google open source project website. It's called opensource.google.com project. And you will see all the open source project that Google involves. One of them, and this is something that is being discussed quite often in the media, is that analytics, which is the Google website, analytics of website, they are starting to talk about R as a second platform to analyze this data. So they will provide more in the future. They will provide more resources for analytics, Google Analytics in R, and allowed us to do the analysis using R. So this is part of Google platform that I want you to be involved to see what they are doing and see how R can play, and see maybe you will find your own project that you are interested to join in order for you to do that. Amazon is another way, and Amazon is again delegate the idea of the AWS platform, the database that they have, to open source R. And so again, this is something that I really recommend you to look at, and because Amazon's spending a lot of time on databases. This is their big thing, and I want you to look at that and see how the R is playing with Amazon with that sense. So it is something that you will need to you will be asked if the future work that you will do will be something with Amazon, because Amazon is getting bigger and bigger every day. So again, R and Amazon is part of the equation. And probably the last company that we need to look at is Facebook. And Facebook has a page called Projects, where they are looking at different aspect, the server side and the flex side and the flow side, and all of that part of what they are doing. And three of those projects involve R as a main platform for their analysis. So again, I want you to explore that, see what is it entail, and see how maybe you will find your next project or next job in Facebook with regard to your knowledge that you develop in R in this course. Okay, so we talked about RStudio and we talked about the application to your own desktop, that where you create the package, you learn how to do the statistical analysis, you learn how to write a function, you learn how to do the debugging of a function. All of that is important and really essential to become or be called a fanatic. However, RStudio also developed the other side. As Microsoft, as Amazon, as Google, and as Facebook, RStudio has a server. And this is where they are trying to promote Shiny and trying to develop the Shiny as a platform. For many companies, the server side that RStudio provides give a good facility to do their work. Example, the New York Times used the RStudio as the server in order for them to display the visual interaction. So they are using the server to display the analysis of Trump versus Clinton or any other upcoming events that they are trying to capture. So the New York Times use that as their platform. And so they RStudio trying really hard to make sure that the Connect and the Shiny is part of the terminology when you are using RStudio. And I did not pay attention. I did not have the time to pay attention. But if you are going for an interview that is considered to be part of RStudio or ask you to know about the RStudio, I want you to focus on or learn about the server side, the Connect side, and Shiny, just that you will feel more comfortable if a questions will come out. I did not cover that in class, but again, something that you can work on yourself in order for you to do that. This is my 5 seconds summary of this module number 13. Next module, I'm going to have face-to-face discussion. You will be able to come to ask any questions about your code, about your project, about what you want to do, and any recommendation. So it will be an open platform. I do want to apologize again. The guest speaker had his wife gave birth to his new son, and in the Jewish tradition, when a new son is born, usually you do not do any work. So he was not able to attend. So Gil was not able to attend the speech that I invite him. So I do apologize, but this is his religion and this is what he asked not to appear. So I hope, I'm sorry about that, but this is part of this semester. All my guest speakers just ran away without me able to capture. I'll try my best next time. So this is something that we will do. So next class, the last module, module number 14, we will have face-to-face. I will continue update the canvas with regard to jobs and how to do that. I will ask you to go over the server side and the Connect and Shiny, because what you are being given in this class is a lot of the essence that you're going to work on. And I know that companies are looking at the server side with a great interest and try to see how they apply. So I will post very soon about the face-to-face meeting and how we will conduct it. Until next time, I hope that it was a refreshing or different aspect of R that we did not talk about the ecosystem that R present and how it apply. Until next time, have fun and enjoy.